What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and learn about the top 10 small towns in Canada. I'm very excited for this topic in particular because growing up, us Americans, we don't know much about Canada, I'm gonna be honest, but we at least know the names of some of the big, most populated cities in Canada, like Vancouver and Toronto and Ottawa and Montreal. We at least have heard of those. But I don't think I could name you one town in Canada. I'm not joking. One small town. So this is a topic I know absolutely nothing about. I don't know if Canadians are the same way or if there's famous towns in America that you know of or little towns. I don't know. It would make me not feel as bad, I guess, if Canadians didn't know American small towns. But these aren't just small towns in Canada. They're the top small towns. Don't ask me how that's going to be determined. I think just based on being great places to visit with amazing attractions, possibly great places to live and grow up, settle down. Also, the title of the video here he has is They Are Hidden Gems that Canadians do not want you to know about. Secrets out. I'm about to find out. You can't stop me. I'm gonna find these hidden gems and spread the word. Americans are gonna flock and ruin. No, okay. I'll stop. No. Anyone who sees this video will find the hidden gems, and there you go. The word's out a little bit. But I am very, very interested to see, I guess, how small towns in Canada compare to small towns in America? I don't see how many different ways you can do a small town. A small town is a small town, but I grew up in several small towns in America, so it's a bit close to my heart, that feeling of a smaller population, little friendlier community, less stuff, but you kind of learn to love it in a way. So this topic kind of connects to me on a personal level, so I'm very excited. And with that being said, let's take a look.
So, here are some places you might want to consider. Number 1, Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario. With a lot
Niagara-on-the-Lake. That's so familiar because it's such a strange name. It's so on the nose. Niagara-on-the-Lake. Is this by Niagara Falls?
lively food scene, quaint bed and breakfasts, and spectacular golf courses, Niagara-on-the-Lake is a small town with a population of 17,511. Nestled.
Oh man, okay, I get it. We're like talking about very, very specific things about the town and the community, like Niagara on the Lake. If you like golf, you might like this place. I like that. It's very practical subjects we're talking about.
On the southern shores of Lake Ontario, not far from Niagara Falls.
Oh, yeah.
This scenic town is a popular tourist destination in the summer months. The long days, warm weather, scenic countryside, and lively downtown make for...
Wow, it is very scenic. And has an awesome pillar? Tower? What is this?
the perfect getaway. And also, Niagara-on-the-Lake is a very popular day trip from Toronto, so you may want to give it a shot. Coffee.
Oh, so yeah. Conversely, if you live in Niagara-on-the-Lake, you can do a day trip to Toronto or Toronto to Niagara-on-the-Lake. But that's actually sounds like such a nice location. You can travel to Niagara Falls, you could travel to Toronto, and then come back home to your little Niagara-on-the-Lake and chill out.
Wow, super strong. Number 2, it's in one of my favorite places because I lived there for 6 years, Nova Scotia. This is Mahone Bay.
Nova Scotia. I am so glad he's branching out to different provinces, especially Nova Scotia. Probably one of the provinces I have covered the least amount in any of my videos. One I know the least amount about.
Bay.
Mahone Bay. Okay.
Now close your eyes and try to imagine the perfect maritime town. Chances are what you're picturing is pretty close to what Mahone Bay looks like. Think charming churches, delightful shops, and houses painted the colors of Easter eggs.
Oh my, this is delightful. This is like another world.
Located in Nova Scotia's Lunenburg County, Mahone Bay's population is estimated at 1,036, but the
1,036. That is not a lot. A small population.
the number keeps on growing. Mahone Bay has the distinction of being the fastest growing municipality in the province.
Oh, words out. Secrets out. It's growing fast. Just even these drone shots he's showing of Mahone Bay. It's beautiful. And the houses have like a, I don't know what kind of feel. Old townhouse, cottagey kind of feel. It's all located on this bay. Beautiful churches, beautiful trees, beautiful.
And historically, Mahone Bay was a shipbuilding town. You'll see many nods to its heritage as you wander around. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a boat town almost. All these docks as well. Everything is on the water.
Mahone Bay was a shipbuilding town. You'll see many nods to its heritage as you wander around. Okay,
Wow.
and number 3 on our list is Ucluelet, British Columbia.
Okay, I'm glad we're jumping around provinces here. British Columbia, I believe, is kind of known for being very beautiful with a lot of nature.
Just south of the world's most famous surf mecca of Tofino lies a small town with a lot to offer, Ucluelet.
Ucluelet. Never heard of it. But we already got a little lighthouse looking thing on the rocks, so I like it already.
Situated on the rugged west coast of Vancouver Island, Ucluelet offers many of the same
Okay.
attractions as Tofino.
Wait, it's on Vancouver Island?
Surfing, beaches, beautiful resorts and lodges,
Wow.
fishing, hiking, whale watching with fewer crowds, and there are art galleries to pursue.
Wow, yeah, like when I think of Canada, especially most Americans who know a lot less than I do, I think, I never picture these amazing little island, like this feels like so islandy. Beaches, these rocks, little lighthouse, like there's so many different geographical wonders, variation, we'll say, to Canada, that it's kind of mind-boggling, and I even forget about how there's little, like, beachy, islandy feeling places like this.
Fishing, hiking, whale watching with fewer crowds, and there are art galleries to pursue, spas
Nice.
for the indulgent treat, and restaurants that are true hidden gems. The
Okay.
estimated 1,717 people who call Ucluelet home know how awesome it is to be there.
Yeah.
Number 4, Yukon.
Wow. These are he's getting into a little detail about these towns, but not too much. I think just the right amount to get through like 10 amazing small towns in Canada. But one thing I'm noticing already is they are all beautiful. Like it feels like you'd live such a stress-free existence just being in these towns.
Is becoming more popular, especially with many of the immigration programs out there that are starting, especially all over northern Canada in general. Dawson City, Yukon.
Yep. Beautiful. That's a prerequisite. Look at this. Dawson City, Yukon. Okay, Yukon. That's another place in Canada I have not learned hardly anything about. Very little. Yukon. And there's a really lovely small town with a river running through it by the look of it.
Though its population today stands at 1,375, the historical town of Dawson City hasn't always been so small. At the peak of the Klondike Gold Rush in the late 19th century, more than 16,000 people lived in Dawson City, hoping to share in the fortunes. Most of these people have
Oh, this place used to be gigantic and actually got smaller as time went on. I bet the townspeople actually kind of like that. It started huge and became a small hidden gem.
actually left and settled elsewhere, but Dawson City remains the second largest community in the Yukon.
Cool.
Number 5, I love Prince Edward Island for its seafood, for its red sand, and for its kind people. Number 5 is Victoria by the Sea, Prince Edward Island.
Victoria by the Sea. Another by the sea? Or what was it? By the lake, sorry. This is by the sea. Love that that naming convention. Victoria by the Sea. It's by the sea. Tells you all you need to know. Prince Edward Island. I almost think of Prince Edward Island as a small hidden gem in my mind, but that's just me. Because I kind of discovered it existed like months back. I was like, there's an island? Like a whole province that's an island in Canada? What? So every time I hear about it, it's just kind of this magical place. Victoria by the Sea. Looks very nice. Looks very simple. Not in a bad way, in a very nice way.
Victoria by the Sea is officially the smallest town on this list of exceptional small towns, with a population of just 74, though the number
74? Okay. This isn't just a hidden gem. This is like if you show up in your car driving to town, like everyone in town is going to notice you driving by. There's only 74 people.
inflates in the summer as seasonal residents make their migration. In a province full of lovely seaside towns, Victoria by the Sea is in a league of its own.
Wow.
The town is small and easily walkable, and every shop you see is worth a visit.
That is so cool. If it's truly 74 people in the town, that is literally a town where it's not just an expression. Everyone knows each other, which would be a really special kind of place to grow up in and live.
Especially the famous chocolate shop. You want to say Victoria by the
Chocolate
Sea
shop.
for a summer visit, as this already quiet town is extra sleepy in the winter. If you're
Wow.
planning a trip to PEI, it's definitely worth spending a day.
Cool. And it's got a lovely chocolate shop that actually is substantial to me.
Is Jasper, Alberta.
Jasper, Alberta? Is this by Jasper National Park, perhaps?
Whether you're hiking the Rockies in the summer or skiing them in the winter, Jasper is an adventurer's
Yeah.
dream destination. And it may be the next place you want to live.
Yeah.
The list of
Yeah, the mountains, man, ridiculous. And the lake?
Jasper's top activity reads like an avid explorer's bucket list.
Oh.
Trekking to alpine lakes, going on a wildlife tour, chasing waterfalls,
Yeah, some of these images, like, I guess I knew there were mountains in Canada, but not like this. Like, this is, again, Americans need to get on board. Americans need to realize this. Canada is crazy. The nature goes off the rails in the best way possible.
exploring ice canyons, dog sledding, ice skating on a frozen lake. The list goes
Wow.
on and on.
Yeah.
About 4,500 people have managed to make Jasper a permanent lifestyle, and
Oh man, imagine living here. Seeing this every day, it'd never get old.
there's a good chance that you can too.
Such a good selection here. Like, I could imagine living in any of these places, and it's either you could live on an island by the coast with the beach, you could live in this small maritime place, or just a small city on the bay with a bunch of boats like zipping around, soothing. And then there's this mountainous, foresty adventure of Jasper. So many different kind of styles of towns, you could say.
Number 7, we can say it like Saint Saveur, Quebec, but we can also say it like Saint Saveur, Quebec, situated in the heart of
Oh, I'm good. I'm glad we're doing a Quebec one as well. I'm really enjoying the selection, the diverse selection of towns and provinces here.
the Laurentian Mountains. Saint Saveur, with a population of almost 10,000, might be one
Yeah, because when I think of Quebec, I've only really seen stuff about Quebec City and Montreal. Never a small town, but most of Quebec's pretty darn big. Most of it is probably smaller towns and cities. That's more representative of like your average Quebecois, if you will. So I actually am really happy he's shown this.
part of the Laurentian Mountains. Saint Saveur, with a population of almost 10,000, might be one of the most adorable villages in all of Quebec.
Very cool. It's got not mountains, but like smaller with all the trees. Just visually, this is cool.
Though it's less than an hour from Montreal, Saint Saveur feels every bit like the secluded mountain town, especially after a fresh snowfall.
Wow.
There are 6 ski resorts in the area, and
Really? I imagine there's a lot of ski resorts around Canada. I don't know why I'm shocked, but that's such a cool perk. In America, it might take you a little effort to find ski resorts in some states, and they're going to have to pump out a lot of fake snow with snow machines.
we'll do the math for you. You could stay a week and ski somewhere new almost every
Wow. Oh my gosh. This is in Quebec? Like this snowy mountain? Jeez.
day. That being said, if you want to move to this small town, if you speak French, that's going to be a plus. I would not recommend moving
Right.
to Quebec, even Montreal, not permanently, without at least speaking French and being
Right,
fluent
right.
in French. That's
Right. Oh my god. I had actually completely forgot about. I had totally skipped my mind. I was so excited about what I was seeing. That is a very good point.
something I wanted to mention. And number 8 on our list is Golden, British Columbia.
Another British Columbia, Golden, with a name like Golden.
The interior of BC has more than a few small laid-back mountain towns that are all worthy of a place on this list,
Yeah.
but Golden wins our gold medal. In terms of geography, Golden has got it all. 2 major rivers, Columbia and Kicking Horse, 3
Wow, that is a river. It's going so slow. It's like when you go to a water park and you're like drifting down the lazy river, they like to name them. It's like you have one built into your town here.
epic mountain ranges, and
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe how many ridiculous, epic mountains there are in these towns and around Canada. I don't think I realized how many. Or maybe they're just all getting featured in this video, but this is not something you just stumble upon in the towns of America very often. I mean, it varies a lot state by state by state, I guess, but this seems like every town here has had some incredible geographical feature.
And 5 major national parks in the vicinity. For many of its 3,700 residents, life in Golden involves making the most of the surrounding mountains. You can hike in the summer, ski and snowboard at Kicking Horse Mountain Resort.
Canada is just great, and these small towns are just great if you are a fan of the outdoors, it turns out. So maybe these aren't the best for Americans, after all. Americans like to stay inside a lot. Enjoy the comfort. Sit inside and watch YouTube. I can't complain. Not that I can talk.
Or in the backcountry if you want in the winter, and you can enjoy the stunning vistas 365 days of the year. Number 9, we hear a lot about New Brunswick, but what about those more secretive places that no one talks about? This is Alma, New Brunswick.
Alma. I feel like I have heard of Alma. Not that is well known amongst Americans. Somewhere along the line in some Canadian video, I heard Alma. That's all I know.
Just outside of Fundy National Park is the tiny fishing village of Alma, with a population of 232.
232, another very small town.
Alma is the gateway to world-famous high tides of the Bay of Fundy. Wow. It's also a great spot to grab a bite to eat after a hike in the park. You can try the sticky buns. They're pretty good. The town raves about them, and it's for a good reason. The nearby...
I mean, where's the town? He's just showing water and a forest. Yeah, is this the town? Where is everybody? Are they hiding under that rock over there? Or... Okay.
By Cape Enrage Nature Preserve is a special natural attraction with towering cliffs, rocky beaches.
They have a road as well. There is a road.
And an iconic lighthouse. It's the kind of place where you could easily spend hours exploring, or it may be the next destination.
Well, I'm sure it's beautiful and amazing. I just don't think he had a lot of footage of Alma, but it sounds very cool. Very small. Not quite 74 people. Like that town on Prince Edward Island, but man, 200?
You choose to live. Number 10, if you're a Canadian...
Oh, this is number 10. Final one. Here we go.
You've heard of it before. This is Churchill, Manitoba.
Churchill, Manitoba. He's saying if you're Canadian, you've probably heard of it. I have not heard of this ever. And it's in Manitoba. Okay.
In fact, there are about as many polar bears in the western Hudson Bay area around Churchill as there are permanent residents of Churchill, which are around 1,000.
There's polar bears around this town? Or that's the most Canadian thing that was said in this video.
And a second fun fact, there are 60 times as many belugas.
Wow.
So many belugas. Polar bears are the primary attraction of this very northerly small town.
Really?
Tourists flock to Churchill in the late fall to capture a glimpse of the majestic white bears, often planning side adventures for viewing the northern lights.
Oh, so this must be very north. Churchill, Manitoba. You can see the northern lights from there? That is awesome. That's a great reason in and of itself. The polar bears, people actually come to try to see polar bears, or I didn't know that was quite a thing. Is that safe? Or
there are 2 ways you can get to Churchill. You can fly in. It's just 2 hours from Winnipeg, or you can catch a train in. I think it's 2 days from Winnipeg. Now, driving is not really an option.
2-day train ride. So this is very isolated? Churchill, I feel like I want to look this up. Churchill, Manitoba. Churchill, Manitoba. Oh, Churchill, Manitoba weather. No, just Churchill, Manitoba. Where are we at? Yeah, let me zoom out a little bit. What do we got here? Zooming out. There's Canada. Yes, okay. Okay, it is north. Not as north as in Manitoba as is humanly possible, but very north and by the Hudson Bay. Right under Nunavut. Okay, now I have kind of a reference in my mind. Why is it so difficult to get there? You have to take a 2-day train ride or fly in, or there's some kind of geographical feature going on here. Huh. I guess it's just very isolated, not not near a lot of other towns or cities.
Option. There are no roads. It's really remote, and we did mention that at the beginning of the video. I hope
Okay.
this list was
Wow.
interesting to you. If the video helped or even sparked any interest, be sure to subscribe, and thank you for watching. There are a
Wow.
whole host of
Wow, 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 wow. Very good. Very good. I enjoyed that a bit. That was by Nader. I'm going to try to say his name. Nader Najad. And I like that. I got to give that a like. That was very cool. I know maybe this is a controversial list to try to make, because it's like everyone's going to have their own list of the top 10 small towns in Canada. But for me, if nothing else, this is a really, really fun introduction to small town living in Canada. I mean, they all seemed to remind me a lot of small towns in the United States, except every town on this list was cooler and had more interesting nature and geographic features that were just like amped up to 10 out of 10. Compared, small towns in America are just like boring. There might be a cornfield or something, some lampposts. There's not so many places like this that, at least in my life, in my experience, that I've gotten to experience. So this was quite a treat. This made it seem like there are a lot of very pleasant, fun, smaller gems to visit in Canada that go unlooked, underrated places to see. So I'm not too surprised that there's a lot more to Canada and a lot more cooler things to enjoy than I even realized. So I enjoyed all this very much. Anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment, perhaps with your opinion on some of the best small towns in Canada. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Canada and Canadian culture, stuff in Canada I've never learned about, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.